What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck Club here again. All right. We got to do it. We got to do it. This is, I want to kind of do a snippet of Jedidiah Brown's, a.k.a. Bishop, live stream he did today. And he brought receipts. He showed a high level of maturity and patience. And this guy here, Kevin Collins, I don't know if he's on YouTube or what. My first time hearing about him in my entire reporting on Super Stupid. So this guy had a live stream. Jedediah, of course, because he was baited basically by Kevin Collins. So he basically kept sound biting him for a point of phrase, trying to get him in the live after he made some just crazy allegations and just flat out dragging Jedediah through the mud. I mean, just deplorable. So, Jedediah, of course, ended up hopping on the live stream. And I just want to give a taste of this to kick off my video for, I'm going to give some commentary and explain why in a minute. But, the guy he kept trying to whistle him into the meeting, and Jedediah just, being human, he couldn't take it anymore. So he hopped in. I would do the same thing and make sure I destroy his soul in the process. I'm going to shatter your hopes and dreams because you just baiting someone in that Kevin Collins labeled as a clown of an activist or some nonsense. It was just ridiculous. But I want to play this little snippet, caught, and just kind of give you guys an overview and background on what all was going on during this live stream. So let's get to it.
Then Markham, and then we ended up finding her alive in Dalton, yesterday. And I just want to say, to this, she wasn't caught in no sex trafficking ring. Now I'm going to tap into that part of it. So this clown activist, Jedidiah Brown.
That part.
Who y'all probably seen several times.
That part.
Just saying, negative things about Tiffany Henyard. Now, I normally don't.
How does that have anything to do with her versus a missing little girl?
Etc.
But yeah, you get into it.
But he made a post about 13-year-old Anaya situation that just so happened to happen in Dalton, where we found her, where he stated saying that Dalton, it was several sex trafficking rings uncovered in Dalton. And
so let me just pause here for a second. Just, like I said, I don't want to see the whole, I don't want to play the whole video. So if you guys want to actually watch the whole interaction, because like I said, Jedediah does eventually get into Kevin Collins' live and basically read this man his rights. He chewed that boy up and spit him out. He was like, no, I'm just going to spit you back out the way you came in, the way you going to go. Man, he read this dude up and down and all around. It was epic. So if you want to check out the full interaction, especially when Jedediah actually decided to get on his live, and you can kind of assess the situation for yourself. But there was just so much wrong with what he said in this that is just mind-numbing. So Jedediah eventually had to clear up, all this crap Kevin Collins is saying about him. And basically just told him flat out, like, look, man, I do this because I care about the people. That is not what my post said or implied. And, when you see the full interaction, most people on average would assume that Kevin Collins was simply trying to bait Jedediah to come on his channel, because I guess he feels some reason that's going to get some attention. Jedidiah is an interesting person. He's an activist. He has kind of been in the limelight. He's being blessed with being able to just be, shown in a special done by Regina Waldroup, which we're going to get to in a minute. But, he has no reason to just, say weird things, for clout anything. This is the epitome of clout chasing. You got a big name person you're trying to bait into a video. And even Jedidiah went so far as to say, they have history before this live stream. So for him, Kevin Collins or whatever, to get on this live stream and say all the crap he said about Jedidiah, having some rapport with him, it was just disgusting. And I'm going to call it out like I see it. And it's unfortunately, because it just seems like he just wanted an interview. Okay, next time just ask. And I know Jedidiah kind of told, him this in his live. He was like, he didn't kind of, he actually did. He was like, dude, if you want my help with something to bring attention to a situation, just reach out to me. Don't sit here and lie on me on social media in a video that even if you wanted to take down at this point, you won't be able to just eliminate it off of social media. This is why you have to be careful what you say. I give commentary in my opinion all the time. Hell, I label Super Stupid the title she has. And I don't feel no type of way about that. That's just exactly how I see her and perceive her. And she's done a lot of hurt and damage, not just to the village of Dalton, but Thornton Township. So she's done an incredible amount of damage and have hurt a lot of people along the way. So as she stepped on people's backs to get to the top, guess what? Super Stupid. You're going to have to face all those people back down when you fall, which is already happening. So for Kelly Collins to try to get on a live, bait Jedidiah, and then talk about this nonsense about her being a black woman, no one cares. No one cares. It's irrelevant. And I truly hope that at the very least, the voters of Thornton and Village Dalton, try to sit down and vet Napoleon Harris to try to see, okay, what are your policies going to be about? How are you planning on trying to help Thornton Township in this role, to recover financially and to ensure that things are done with integrity and dignity and respect? What are your policies here? And that's something I have yet to see it here. I can understand Napoleon Harris not wanting to just be all over the media, because I think everybody just kind of sick of that up there, having dealt with this nonsense from Tiffany Henyard. So naturally, you're going to try to do the opposite, of any opponent or foe or whatever you want to name it as. You want to make sure you have something that will stick and land. So just securing a nomination is just not enough. So hopefully at this point, they'll sit down and do an interview with Napoleon Harris. I would love to do one. And ask some questions about the policies. Because once again, we don't vote colorism. That got everybody in trouble up there. You vote competency and how well someone can do the job. And to just bait Jedidiah into this, it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. Talking about Tiffany Henyard being a black woman, how does that compare or have anything to do with a 13-year-old that was once upon a time missing and was found, thank God? Or the fact that she's on the FBI investigation or misappropriating funds or just trying to shut down the township because of an insurance thing. She's uninsurable. I had Jedidiah also brought that up in his live, and I have a screenshot of it. Some correspondence that you guys are definitely you're going to want to see it. So, thank you, Jedidiah, for all you do. Bishop, your hard work pays off. And trust me, God is not going to forget about you along the way. He's going to continue to bless you like, he's already done and doing. And at some point, I'm telling you that there's going to be a whole documentary on surviving Tiffany at some point. And that show need to go to Netflix or Hulu, Amazon Prime. I don't care. Pick something with a huge platform, so these advocates and activists and independent journalists and those who just seek the truth and report it, tell it like it is, can start, getting the financial blessing that they're deserving of. And Jedidiah is certainly one of those people. So the 13-year-old girl being missing has nothing to do with Tiffany Henyard or her blackness or her being a woman. No one cares. It's just tiring to hear the same sound bite from someone who's doing something that had nothing to do with Tiffany Henyard or her investigation or many, many lawsuits that I'm sure Kevin Collins will not be paying for. So you don't have a reason to defend her. Don't align yourself with her. And I think anyone that does at this point is definitely looking to have a difficult time getting a job if you put that on your resume. You put on your resume you did anything with Tiffany Henyard. Trust me. Many employers are going to think twice because it's hard to ignore her becoming a global phenomenon for all the wrong reasons. Don't align yourself with her. Just let her do her dumb crap by herself at this point, because it's not going to profit you anything. It's not going to benefit you in a positive way. And at this point, like I said, she's done so much damage. Anyone associated with her is just going to catch it by default. You're just guilty by association. But I'm proud of Jedidiah for basically he's still at the end. It was just humble conversation. He humbled this guy real quick, like I said, and he gave him even after it, he still kind of gave the benefit of the doubt. And it's just like, this is the last thing that people need right now. When you have a whole dumb black woman that's out here getting more lawsuits than policy she's put forth. And she's acting on impulse. And at the end of the day, all that she's doing was pretty much to be expected. So don't align yourself with her. That's just insane to do. And I think, Jedidiah, like I said, displayed just a significant level of maturity and just good wisdom and judgment, and it just turned out to be a matter where hopefully Collins learned something from this. So either way, I'm going to let you all see the good old receipt that Jedidiah posted and gave everybody in the chat the, permission to post and record it, everything in between. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So here's the receipt that Jedidiah produced. My Lord. Lord, we thank you. Here's the receipt. This Tiffany A. Henyard, a.k.a. Super Stupid, a.k.a. Tiffany Teflon Tahoe. Thank you, Pink Lessons. This is how you produce a receipt. This is a receipt in case I'm sure it went over your head what a receipt looked like, but it's also called evidence or documentation. This is how you do it. So this whole Thornton Township shutdown, all this stuff going on there where she's just basically trying to gaslight Thornton Township or whatnot of trying to rob the people of resources, simply because of some insurance. So turns out, and I'm going to read this to you guys. It says here, see the attached policy. This is coming from the email he posted up once again on his live stream that is on his channel. So make sure you check out the whole live stream. I promise you're going to be blessed. But this is what he posted up from Karen J. Lash, Senior Litigation Examiner, Third Party Administration. So it says, see the attached policy, specifically page 21, that sets forth an absolute exclusion as to coverage for Tiffany Henyard. As I read this, the policy will not pay any expenses, judgments, etc. Because she said it herself, I get sued all the time. That's not something to have bragging rights over. But I mean, hell, what do you expect coming from Tiffany Henyard? So, the law enforcement policy which will be sent shortly, has the same exclusion. I fully expect to receive a disclaimer of coverage specifically as to the mayor, who would then have to coordinate her defense at her own expenses. So essentially, this is just saying we're not going to insure her personally because of all of the dumb crap, opportunity where she could have tried to rectify some of these situations, but just the dumb crap decisions she's made that led to all these lawsuits filed against her, to which she bragged about having a lot of, or being sued all the time on a video that went viral. I mean, it's like, that's the dumbest thing to try to have bragging rights over. Oh, look how many lawsuits I can rack up. Why would you want to gloat about that? Why would you want to say that out loud? Just keep it to yourself. So, hopefully the entire coverage will be displayed. Somebody get a copy of that. I'm sure if she sent this and Jedidiah was able to get a hold to it, at some point she's going to send the full disclaimer of coverage and everything, just to kind of hammer in on why this insurance company is basically saying Super Stupid is uninsurable. You're a risk. You're not an asset to anyone. You pose a grave threat to humanity and the citizens of Thornton Township and Village of Dalton. So they're saying, listen, we're not here to cover your attorney's fees. This is a failed attempt for Super Stupid to try to keep from paying her own attorney's fees. So if you're an attorney trying to represent her, please understand that you're going to be one of many lawsuits filed to try to reclaim your fees or whatever for the legal service. These attorneys are acting on her in, individual capacity, not in her capacity as so far supervisor of Thornton Township until that election when she's going to get voted out again and vehemently rejected. So there's no reason to make this up, because of course stuff like this get out. First thing people are going to do is just try to investigate, get the full coverage that's outlined, disclaimer, everything in between, to show proof and receipts that no one wants to insure you. So to shut down Thornton Township on the belief of some nonsense about having a meeting to determine whether you want to renew the insurance, no one in their right frame of mind, unless they are your goons and supporters, are going to sit here and say, yeah, that's a valid reason to have any level of a shutdown in Thornton or in the Village of Dalton. It doesn't justify you choosing Super Stupid to have a shutdown, whether it be partial or full shutdown. And once again, some services, I believe I read on NBC5 News Chicago, it wasn't deemed a full shutdown, it was deemed a partial shutdown. But all because she's lying about being, having a meeting with the trustee board to try to determine if they want to renew the insurance, when she herself, in her individual capacity, is uninsurable. If this is not a wake-up call to show just her being disingenuous, which I'm not shocked, but I'm going to still point it out. And this is her being disingenuous to the voters and the citizens. You're robbing them of vital resources that their tax dollars have already paid for, because you're uninsurable. And yet, I bet you all the money in the world, she would never post anything like this on her own volition. She would never do anything like this on her own accord. So now you have people like Jedediah Brown is going out and, being the true activists they are, getting a hold to receipts and information that we all know she will never ever even speak of on her own accord. I don't trust her to even utter this as a problem. or as a part of her reality. I just don't expect it. But this is fantastic work. Fantastic work, Jedidiah. Excellent job on getting this information. So now you guys get to see, nope, it's not about insurance. And I mean, additionally, she didn't need a meeting to renew the insurance, even if she was insurable. But she continues to try to put herself in a situation where she can try to avoid paying attorney's fees that she's utilizing to file frivolous lawsuits. It's stupid. How would you not think that this would come out to the limelight at some point? Super stupid. How could you possibly think this was going to stay hidden? So everybody's suffering because of her BS. And they are saying flat out, we're not paying your attorney's fees. We're not paying towards any expenses related to your lawsuits or judgments. If you get, a ruling against you, a judgment issued against you, to pay back all the money. They're not trying to insure that crap. And rightfully so. They don't have to. They don't want that. So this is absolutely great work. And I just could not be more proud. Keep on doing what you're doing, Jedediah. You're a vital asset to, the community and to humanity as a whole. You're doing God's work, and this needs to continue. Yes, you all give him some money. Good grief. I just want y'all to hit the like button and subscribe. But if you want to donate, to anyone in this reporting of Super Stupid, it would certainly, be Jedediah Brown. So I'm just elated. So this is the receipt, and we're going to go over the news coverage with Regina Waldroup's interview she did after the NBC special was released. So we're going to check this video out that Regina Waldroup did on NBC Chicago, and that just kind of asking a couple questions and just getting her feedback after the special was released. So I've resisted the temptation to watch this earlier on my own or in general on anyone's channel. So I'm finally able to, react to this in real time and check this out, because I think is very important with some of the things that she said in this interview. And it just speaks to the danger that Tiffany Henyard poses and her goons on everyone else. So let's check this out.
Well, she's one of the most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately. I'm talking about the mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard.
And all of social media.
Yes,
She's
yes.
everywhere. Our very own Regina Waldroup has been following all the drama as it unfolds. And she's here with us to talk about a new documentary called Super Mayor, The Cost of Chaos in Dalton. Welcome, Regina. You've been in those streets.
I know, right?
So much so that I even dream about this story.
Oh, my God.
I am embedded in this community.
Is it a dream or a nightmare?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the title of this, because it's called Super Mayor, and that is what Tiffany Henyard calls herself.
Tiffany Henyard started calling herself Super Mayor a few years ago. She is Township Supervisor of Thornton Township. She's also the Mayor of Dalton. Put them together, Super Mayor. And so 2 years ago...
Point of fact. She literally said in a separate video on national television that this is a nickname that people gave her. No, ma'am. And honestly, it just kind of shows Super Stupid's inflated ego and pride and narcissism to think that anyone would want to, give her this title of super anything. She came up with that on her own. No one called her that. She's been called many things, but Super Mayor was not a nickname that people gave her. Though. So, it's just crazy to think that, or to even try to go back out in a video that is on every social media platform talking about this is something people came up with to call her. No, ma'am. If you're going to be arrogant about it, go all the way there, Tiffany.
she started calling herself that, super mayor.
Call herself that.
Where did this all start?
Yeah,
start at the very beginning.
Why is she on our TV screen so much?
Because she's accused of misusing taxpayer dollars. In the village of Dalton, not really a wealthy community. It's 90% African American, and a lot of money has been misused or alleged to have been misused by Tiffany Henyard. Signage is everywhere in this community. You won't see a lot of stores. You see a lot of boarded up buildings, but you also see a lot of billboards with her.
Okay, I want to pause this in case, something happens to my video being blocked. But at the end of the day, she basically tried to hold on, let me finish this up. Hold on.
Image. She even had a company put up these welcome signs with her picture on them and the title Super Mayor.
Okay, so the issue with the billboards, I wanted to remind myself of that. The issue with the billboard, she called the police when the vendor tried to reclaim their property that she has not paid for to this very day, that no trustee approved or gave her permission to order banners with her face all over it. That was over $19,000. I think the lady said the vendor actually did an interview. And she called the police. Police came out. They didn't do any investigative work whatsoever. And they just sided with her. And then she had the audacity to say, well, if you this is a regular worker who he don't make any decisions. He's just doing what, his job describes and what he was, paid to do. Take down the signs. The vendor has every right to reclaim their property. It's not yours, super stupid. You have not paid for them. So that's a huge waste of money. You know what I can do with $19,000? Please, Jesus, let that happen. Oh my God. And then try to have an innocent employee arrested or threatened to do that. Oh my God. Over some banners.
This vendor has not been paid.
Wow.
Also, there have been credit cards, 6 credit cards in this
over
community,
12,000. I said 19,
used by someone to purchase things on Amazon, $40,000 in one day.
Wow. And she has a stylist
why the credit card company allowed it to go through, I will never understand. Was it not suspicious to see $40,000 charged to Amazon out of nowhere? I mean, Lord have mercy. They need to call the insurance company and say, look, we're going to put a cap on how much can be spent in one day, because this is ridiculous. Amazon, $40,000. Once again, do you know what I can do with $40,000 right now? Oh my God.
Well, through Thornton Township, some of my investigative work found that she does have a stylist, and she is paying him through township dollars, saying that he works for the township in some other capacity. But he called me and told me, yes, I am her stylist.
Wow. So she's also,
oh my God.
I would say, very eclectic. She loves the camera. She's willing to say what she thinks. Has this surprised?
Eclectic is not the word. Let's just call it what we see it as. It's narcissism and just a complete psychopath. That's what we're seeing. That's it. She loves the spotlight because she actually believes that the earth rotates around her and not the sun. Oh my God.
How much the viewership has gravitated towards this woman. Like, people from all over the world are talking about her. It's not just Chicago.
Yes.
It's funny you should mention that. I was in Alabama over the summer for a graduation, and I'm walking down, to find a seat. And somebody said, hey, I love your coverage of Dalton. I get emails from people all over. Yes, it is a big issue, and she puts herself out there like that because I think she loves the attention. Here's the problem with this story, though.
Oh, she does.
The people in this community, they are losing. They're the ones losing. This is not a well-to-do community. Yeah. They can't afford any mismanagement of funds. This is not Chicago. Yeah. And so we
can't afford it either.
Right. Well,
don't miss
I know, right?
Attention, but not this kind of
attention. The whole state of Illinois is just having a hard time.
Because you are always there.
Well, the boyfriend came for you. Her boyfriend came for you. What did that feel like?
Well, keep in mind, I was invited to this meeting on Saturday. went to this meeting. I was the only reporter there, and her boyfriend started to attack me personally.
Verbally.
Yeah.
Right. It was disgusting.
And I stood there and I accepted everything he said, directed at me and at the media, because I'm doing a job. There's a reporter. I'm covering the issues, covering what's happening. I've not made anything up. What we know is there's a federal investigation going on.
Exactly.
That's a fact. There were 3 subpoenas served asking for a slew of records, financial records related to Tiffany Henyard and her boyfriend. I am just covering what is going on. So I'm very transparent.
Why hasn't she been held to contempt with some court at this point? You've been subpoenaed and ordered to release information, to process FOIA requests, to do a lot of things that is in accordance with federal, state, and local municipal laws here, including Caucus rules. And it's just mind-numbing. Mind-numbing. Why her simp of a boyfriend would want to attack the media for reporting the news. First of all, Kamal Woods, there are a whole lot of people reporting on this, not just Regina Waldroup. And this is how you clap back. Now you're a complete disgrace to humanity, as well as your brainless girlfriend of a goon. And all her supporters. It's almost just like she's not paying y'all mortgage or rent. So what the hell do you have to gain out of supporting her? Like, really? What do you have to gain out of this? You're not going to get no money. Knowing her, she probably tried to bribe people. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get anything out of it. You're not going to financially benefit in any way. What is the purpose of realigning yourself with Tiffany Henyard? All for nothing. And she damn sure knows how to throw people under the bus. This is crazy.
In what I've been doing and trying to get some answers for the community.
Regina, what will we learn in this documentary?
What we learn in this documentary, I think it's going to be an eye-opener. I think you're going to learn a lot about what led up to Vegas, what allegedly happened in Vegas, what's going on now, but also about a community that wants answers. And in an area where there's not a lot of media attention, it was the community that brought this issue to us.
And backtrack a little bit about Vegas for us. What happened in Vegas? She took town funds to go to Vegas, or what happened?
There was a taxpayer-funded trip in Vegas of last year.
Well, what does she need? Why does that have to do with Dalton mayoral business? I'm just wondering.
I mean, there are conferences that happen all over the world for mayors to go to and whatnot.
She went to go there for a business conference to attract different grocery stores to that community.
Okay.
She took 13 people on the conference, including her former assistant, a young woman who says she was allegedly assaulted by a Dalton trustee, and she says she told this to Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, and when she told this to Tiffany, she says Tiffany told her this could ruin my entire career, and she was later fired. And now she's filed a civil law.
You know, the worst part is they're super stupid. You literally could have just gotten someone else. This would not have had to be a reflection on you if you would have just fired he who will not be named in the Lady Luck Club. All you had to do was get somebody else. That's it. You don't have to keep him on the board of trustees. Let him go and try to get it's too late, but still. Because even with there's a vacancy with, I think, with the trustees in Thornton Township anyway. So no, I wouldn't trust that she could, appoint a viable candidate. But at that time, when that happened and Phineas came to her about this, situation and her, allegations and the loss, all the stuff, Super Stupid's response is, this could hurt me. That's the narcissism in her that won't allow her to even think about someone else's well-being. It's all about her. So the response that she's giving, whether it be verbal or just through actions, all it does is just speaks to Super Stupid's ego and pride and narcissism and just like I said, a psychopath. That's all this does. It just reveals her even more. And we are here for it.
How long is the doc?
Wow. It's an hour long, but you know what?
You need an hour.
Well done.
You need an hour.
This is a story that keeps evolving, keeps growing. Every day you learn something different, and so we need to add more. There's going to be a part 2, 3, 4.
I bet
that's it. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Good work,
Regina. Great.
So I wanted to just kind of react to that, and like I said, Jedidiah also said it in his live stream today that there's going to be many more parts to come, and hopefully you get some major platforms like, you know, Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime or, you know, one of these larger streaming platforms to pick up these, you know, documentaries, especially if it's more than one, you know, I guess, video or reporting done in a series. She does like 3 or 4. That definitely needs to land on Netflix. That would just, if this gets global attention, why not have these live streaming platforms like, you know, Netflix and Hulu and all of them to actually put these miniseries, this documentary on their live streaming, and it will have a broader range and get more exposure, which hopefully will be financially beneficial to people like Henyard Dukes and Jedediah, you know, Vivian Allen, all of those that were actually featured in the video that are, you know, even advocating, or they're just one of the citizens that are just being, you know, tortured almost by Super Stupid's presence here on earth, let alone her horrible, deplorable decision she's making that is affecting thousands of people. So I really hope that gets picked up and gets more exposure, since this is somehow still making global news. But I'm definitely going to keep it in the spotlight here in the Lady Luck Club, because it definitely needs to have more and more attention brought to this until her ass is gone. So, okay, so I want to get to this video that was posted by YouTuber Shadow Seeker. That was emailed to me from Cheryl, showing a definitely just flat out clear view of Super Stupid being in the auditorium before the caucus began, which was a very illegal democratic electoral process. It was legal. And like I told you guys previously, if you want to sit here and talk, if she wants to talk about something not being fair because she's a narcissist, okay, the Republicans of Thornton Township had a caucus as well. So if you're going to file a lawsuit, Super Stupid, I don't understand why you're not filing against the Republicans, because you don't have a shot in hell with that lawsuit. I just don't understand, like, why you insist on making this worse for yourself. But, you know, we're here for it. But you'll see her with the white beanie hat and the black, I guess, coat jacket. I don't know if it's leather or not, but it's black. And you'll see Kamal Woods, who's back there with her daughter. Here you go. I tried to zoom in, but it's kind of hard to see the whole screen. But if you see the guy, you know, holding the child with the black coat, the star on the back, that's Kamal Woods holding Super Stupid's daughter. Why is he not spending time with his own kids? I mean, seriously, if you're going to get caught on camera with a child, why is it not your own? I'm just going on a limb and say he does have children, but I mean, hell, he's still legally married too, so I highly doubt Super Stupid cares about that. But this shows more footage of her being inside this caucus before it started. She went in there to record herself, and for what? And I want you all to look to the far right of the screen, your right, not mine. You will see at least 2 police officers in the auditorium, as well as a sergeant in the arms and assistant sergeant in arms. Look at our recording. What was the purpose of doing that? What was the purpose of that? I did a whole lot. I had a whole reaction to this caucus vote in real time, and let me tell you something, it was epic. I still can't get enough of the auditorium just going wild when they said, ah! Ah! We all say ah! Your bum ass on. The hell out of here and kick rocks barefoot. Goodbye, girl. Oh, God, it was epic. But she was in here before it started. And then up there recording like no one is going to get that video. This is insanity. She already making a fuss. I don't want to play the whole thing again, but this is just, yet again another video showing her inside the auditorium before it started. One thing you will not see her do is to try to talk to Napoleon Harris in any manner. Didn't even go near her. But then wants to say, well, he robbed y'all vote. No, he didn't. No, he did. It was very legal. He just outsmarted you because I don't think it's difficult to do anyway. We don't expect people with no brain or soul to do any thinking whatsoever. And Kamal Woods, you threatening a black woman while talking about you're black and then trying to ask where exactly she lives or if it's within the precinct or district of Thornton Township. What was that to prove? Then they doxed Napoleon Harris, and honestly, he could countersue for that because who knows what type of danger her goons put Napoleon Harris in by doxing his personal address on TV. So who knows? Hopefully he'll get that part of the any lawsuit file, any pleadings. Hopefully they'll remove his personal address because they know that it's being reported on. It's like global now. So he has the right to have some level of privacy with his demographic information. And she just let them blast it out like that was going to do any good. That's more intimidating and threatening behavior by even doing that much. Because now if something happens, it's going to go right back to her because she allowed. She allowed. Okay, yeah. Oh, shit. So I'm sure many of you are aware that the trustee or the individual that's trying to run for mayor in the village of Dalton was objected to by Super Stupid's goon, who I can guarantee you does not know any state law of any capacity. So his objection, I am more than confident in saying, probably was just a litany of nonsense and had no legal merit whatsoever. Because you need to have some sort of evidence to show and prove and substantiate your objection. And like I said, I highly doubt he can even regurgitate what the law is on that. But to file a objection just to keep someone off the ballot is no different than what she is hypocritically accusing Napoleon Harris of. So we're going to check this out.
In South Suburban Dalton, the fight to stay on the 2025 election ballot has fizzled.
Today, members of the Rebuilding Dalton Party came to the village hall with their attorney to, quote, argue, but they were met with good news. The Village Electoral Board unanimously accepted a petition withdrawal. The petitioner, an associate of Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, have requested that members of the Rebuilding Dalton Party be removed from the ballot, citing an outdated election law. Cassandra Hobson-Jordan is a grassroots candidate for mayor. She says she hopes the spring election will now focus on the people of Dalton and not personal politics.
Take a look at Dalton. This downtown has looked like this for the past 17 years.
This is Cassandra Hobson-Jordan. and she's running for mayor of Dalton. I don't know if she's running as another Democrat or independent, or I don't know exactly what political party she's affiliated with, but she had this dumb objection to her running for this position, as if Jason House does not exist. I mean, seriously. So once again, stupidity on steroids. Super stupid. Had her goons to object to this nonsense. And you can clearly see in many interviews and pressers that he is affiliated. The dude that did the objection is indeed affiliated with Tiffany Henyard. So you can't say you didn't know. I don't think her goons make a move without her knowing any damn way. Most of that is her idea.
I should be able to come 2 blocks over and come and sit down at a restaurant or be able to shop at a store and recycle the dollar back into this village. It has been looking like this for 17 years. So while these people are fighting over positions, let's get businesses back into here.
Naturally, Harrison is a trustee candidate. Well, he and Thompson Jordan will appear.
So, like I said, the electoral board voted to have the objection rescinded and retracted, so she can be on the ballot. I personally think that Jason House has a better chance than any other candidate, simply because he has been a trustee and he's been just once he realized Super Stupid was not worth any of that crap and trying to protect or defend or support in any manner at this juncture, he has a chance of, being elected as the mayor. So when you guys are doing your research before you go and vote, remember the lessons that hopefully Super Stupid has taught all of you in the village of Dalton and Thornton Township, and that is to ensure that you're voting competency and you have vetted these people, and you're basically demanding to know, okay, what is your platform about? What are your policies? How do you plan on, especially for Jason House, because the village of Dalton is broke. They have a huge deficit by at least, I think, $9+ million. I mean, hell, she spent $40,000 in one day on Amazon. So they're in a huge deficit, and they're going to need basically a damn bailout if the governor would do one thing in this whole situation after sitting back 2-3 years and allowing all this crap to happen. If he could do one thing right, it would, be to give the village of Dalton some sort of bailout, or at least try to help them get some funds so that they can have a chance to get back, fully operational and not have to worry about not having money to even cover salaries. So what are your platforms? Jason House, Napoleon Harris, Cassandra Jones. What are your platforms here? What are your policies? How do you plan on making sure that financially, these two, the township and the village, are able to sustain financially? What are you going to do exactly, and outline it with how you plan on helping the people? So please be sure, you guys, if you're up there, you registered to vote, you're able to help bring on some real change through the power of the election itself and the beautiful democracy that allows us to vote here. Hopefully you all do your homework. Ask tough questions. Make sure you have, your voices raised over having a sit down, having some sort of meeting with these candidates so that they can kind of give their overview and what they plan on trying to achieve if they're elected. Don't get complacent, and don't allow these candidates to just say, I'm running, vote for me. Okay, what are your policies now? Because we went down this rabbit hole before. We don't want to go down it again. Now let's do it right this time. Tell us about your policies. Tell us about your game plan. Tell us how exactly you plan on helping us recover financially. Like I said, Jason House even more than Napoleon Harris. But both have suffered at the hands of super stupid Tiffany Henyard, and they're suffering financially. So I would love to have Napoleon Harris and Jason House, Clean House 2025. I would love to have him on, my channel to do, an interview to kind of gauge what they, plan on doing that they can realistically do as far as, implementing some real change and policies in place, and, just discuss how you plan on helping these people here, and not just get the nominee, land on the ballot, and then repeat this pattern where you're not really doing anything, or no one knows what you plan on doing, to help. So get your policies in place, get a whole outline, and make sure you make it make sense. You be able to explain it to people that are owed, this level of due diligence, and being able to ensure, you can at least be rest assured that you're getting someone that's competent and can actually fulfill the duties of these positions. We can only hope that they maintain some semblance of integrity and ethics in all of this, and not do anything to cause them to go astray, where they're doing almost the same thing as super stupid. And that can be kept, in check by making sure that they are held to their standards, and that they are held to whatever plan they want to put in place, their policies, they're held accountable and held to that. So that's something that, you guys have to make sure you're continuously doing. Don't get complacent. Do I believe that they both have a chance of winning? Yes, I do. But it's not just a matter of getting the position. It's a matter of keeping it. And it's a matter of learning from your past and not allowing it to repeat itself, by still going into these roles with no platform or plan on policies, so I think there's one more thing I want to check out. So I appreciate you guys. For all those who are watching, please make sure you hit the like button. It's the bare minimum. It's free to do, and subscribe. Make sure, you join the LLC, and I'm going to continue to report on this. Like I said, to Tiffany Henyard's ass is gone. Unass that seat. Epic. Okay, last thing we're going to check out, because I'm almost coming up on an hour, and at some point, Mama got to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning for work. The last thing we want to check out is just Thornton Township shutdown. The receipt I showed earlier from Jedidiah Brown, let me tell you all something. It speaks directly to this. I told you guys we're going to touch on this because this is just deplorable. So she decided to do a partial shutdown, Tiffany Henyard, because she's lying about some insurance. So the receipt I showed earlier is proof she's simply uninsurable. And yet, she decided that she just want to shut down Thornton Township partially, I think, based on the reporting from NBC Chicago. She just decided, you know what? Y'all want to take me to court? I'm going to shut down the government. Y'all don't want to come to a meeting where I'm just going to do what I want and rant. Fine, I'll shut it down. That's so narcissistic and vile and disgusting. It's not even funny. You have real people that are already hurting. This is a village and a township that's not, financially bringing in a huge revenue source. And honestly, thank God, because otherwise she would have been, probably would have felt compelled to spend even more money. But you shut down the government or you shut down Thornton Township because you're uninsurable. And you're trying to say that there had to be a meeting to renew the insurance. Just renew the damn insurance, girl. There doesn't need to be a meeting. That's not a matter of a meeting. You don't need a quorum for that. Just renew the damn insurance. You just can't be insured. You cannot be a part of that insurance policy. But renew it for everybody else if you actually care, which she doesn't. She does not. Newsflash, she doesn't give a damn. But this is just, like I said, narcissism on steroids from Tiffany. Just a narcissist.
Val and Terrell, good morning. Well, you can see the lights are off behind me. The doors are locked here. And there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed. For how long? Neither residents nor employees know at this point.
This is crazy.
I'm the only one, and I don't even work here. And I'm here.
Tom Olenichuk showed up first thing this morning to hand in important paperwork for an assistance program due Friday, but was met by this sign.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, here I am, and they disappeared now.
Who printed that sign?
So now what? What do you do now?
At our busy season. And I come in and the staff's here. We can't get in the building.
The township assessor and her staff also came to work as usual, uninformed the building would be closed.
Oh my God.
No notification.
That's how ratchet she is.
Warning or nothing.
The township supervisor.
This is the same assessor who she tried to lock out. That certainly would not have been on her slate. Even if she had a full slate. That assessor would not have been one of them. This is the same person she locked out, over a year ago, and ended up needing, in order to be eligible to be nominated as a nominee for the Democratic Party as supervisor of Thornton Township. This is the person that she crapped on and stepped on, the assessor. Oh my God.
Tiffany Henyard
and shut down over some insurance that she can simply renew.
Fifth meeting had to be canceled yesterday because 2 board members failed to show up. Their aim to block Henyard from appointing someone to a vacant trustee position who could provide tie-breaking votes.
Our job is to provide services, and we're not doing that because they're stalling government, gridlocking it because they can't have their way. Come on, it's not high school.
But you're shutting it down because you can't have your way, moron. You're the one that shut it down. The trustees didn't vote for this. These people showed up to the building not even knowing that there was a shutdown. How does that not spell grimy? Like I said, I'm not giving commentary to try to come off like I'm reasoning with this woman. There's no reasoning with her. She is a lost cause. She has been gone from this planet a long time ago because she's truly lost her damn mind. Girl, just leave Earth. Get off this planet. Girl, get your ass off this planet.
Unable to conduct business, Henyard says that township can't renew its insurance. A shutdown, she says, means ceasing assistance programs for seniors.
They didn't even know it shut down.
For children, potentially laying off more than 100 township workers.
This is how she's trying to bully y'all.
Is that if there's a person in there that will just say yes to everything, I mean, it will set us back.
Trustee Carmen Carlisle is one of the board members who's been absent from meetings. She says the board has not been part of insurance renewals in recent past.
Exactly.
And believes insurance could have been decided months ago.
It was used to get us.
Yeah, it could have.
Dangle the insurance over their heads so they can get here so we can get this appointment. But, you can't play with these things. You have to do what's responsible.
Oh, my God. Too much like right. Too much like right. I don't think she can even spell the word responsible. Let alone define it or live up to its concept and meaning. Hell no. She was like, responsible? Yeah, what is that? Google, you say? Wah.
Now, Henyard has not returned our calls this morning to confirm what services might be halted today and for how long. All of this comes as Henyard is also suing township Democrats for their caucus vote earlier this month,
which was very legal.
Was left off the April ballot for supervisor.
Yeah, we don't care. So that's pretty much the end of that. She has shut down Thornton Township without anyone's approval, consent, a meeting, a word, or nothing. And like I said, that receipt that I showed earlier from Jedidiah that he received. Let me tell you something. That's all that need to be said. Whether we get the full disclaimer of the coverage or anything or not, that email was enough. I'm sure there's more to come with it, but She's uninsurable, and now she wants the entire Thornton Township to suffer because no one is indebted, or no one should be forced to try to insure her dumb ass when she's bragging about having lawsuits. She brags about getting sued all the time. So no, she could have renewed it. That's a phone call. That's a click of a couple buttons or something. Just renew the damn insurance. You just can't be in it. Watch out. So that's the last video I wanted to share today. There are a whole lot of, videos out there that are just phenomenal commentary and reporting. And one of the things that Jedidiah said in his live stream today, which blessed my soul, was, there's no competition when it comes to the reporting, and especially amongst the YouTube community. If you go into this thinking you're competing with someone, you've already failed and set yourself up for disappointment. And I can say I've had my YouTube channel going back to 2022. And I've even had to stop and have breaks in between because real life is just real life. Life be lifing. But at the end of the day, if I decided I'm just going to go out here and just try to compete against other YouTubers for anything, I've already failed. And I have, hopped in on several lives just to hit the like button and just show some support, because at the end of the day, this reporting is crucial and vital. And tearing each other down as YouTubers or coming off like you're just trying to, I think Jedediah put it very eloquent, have this competition for no damn reason. It's unnecessary. We don't need to compete. However many views I get for my video, I'm sure it's not going to be as many as a larger YouTuber who has a bigger platform and wider audience. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to report on this. I am. Because I think we all have our own commentary and point of view and insight we want to provide. And like I said, this woman is uninsurable, and the insurance company is not going to just sit back and allow her to, attack them and their business. I don't think it's hard to find out the name of the insurance company. But don't trustees have veto power? So she should not be able to do this on her own accord without some sort of veto or something. Even this is the opportunity for the governor of Illinois to do any damn thing. Just do something. Do something. And if you guys reelect him, then I don't know. No lesson was taught in all this. If you guys reelect the governor or that DA who sat silently on this from day one. So have a press conference, get Napoleon Harris and Jason House and all these candidates, get them on, some sort of a venue somewhere where they can sit down and talk about their plans, and make sure you all record that. Make sure you record it so we can continue to report on it. So I want to make sure I give a proper shout out to Pink Book Lessons. I don't know if you all are aware or remember. Many of you guys are new to reporting on Tiffany Henyard, but let me tell you something. Pink Book Lessons did her first reporting on Tiffany Henyard, I think about 2 years ago, if not last year, definitely in 2022. She was the one that labeled her as Tiffany Teflon Tahoe. And this goes to the phenomenal wisdom that Jedidiah shared on his live stream today. It comes down to where, you have YouTubers that are passionate about this and they get the information out there. They have this huge audience, and it just becomes a ripple effect down the line. And it's also inspiring to see people that are actually doing legitimate reporting and that are presenting information, receipts, going over. I've gone over the ILCS codes. I've gone over, the law and gave my opinion on that lawsuit from Tiffany Henyard just to be frivolous in nature, because there's no legal merit to that at all either. And like I said, Pink Book Lessons, I'm subbed to her channel. Phenomenal. She uncovered this stuff and brought it to the forefront, at least 2 years ago. So there's reporting that's been occurring, especially on YouTube across the board, for at least 2 years. And I know you guys know I'm a huge fan of Hannibal is Hungry as well. I'm a huge fan of Jedidiah. I'm a huge fan of Just Doing Nails, Shadow Seeker, all these supporters and those who are there recording the Lansing Journal. They're recording these town hall meetings so that we can sit down and share this information, across the board. But we got to give Pink Book Lessons her props. She kickstarted, this wave of reporting on YouTube. I'm not saying she's the only one, but she's definitely one in my books that was just one of the original. And Tiffany Teflon Tahoe, you still got the FBI coming for you. So I don't know why you won't just focus on that and get an attorney and pay for your attorney out of your damn paycheck, not with tax dollars. You should be focused on that, because that's going to land you behind prison. And I'm going to report on it every step of the way. When the FBI come in, you guys, listen, the FBI, they don't move the way we all wish they would, and that's swift. They don't put out information about open investigations. They don't move like that. That's not how they move. And the main reason is because they want to be able to do their investigation to gather evidence, without any, setbacks or obstacles or hurdles, simply because information is being reported, and it's not hard to get misinformation out there either. So the FBI overall, they just don't move the way we all think they should. And they're not going to release information on open investigation. Should an indictment from a grand jury drop and they press forward with, pursuing charges against her, then that'll be what they report on, will be already made available to the public. So even through that, they're still not going to always share everything until the conclusion of the investigation. Prayerfully, it leads to an indictment and hearings and her just landing in jail or prison for many, many years. But, this is what keeps this information in the limelight. So, shout out to Pink Book Lessons and giving us, great content about Tiffany Teflon Tahoe, and to everyone else that's doing, this reporting and that's there advocating. You guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, share this video. I'm going to continue to do my reporting. I'm going to continue to talk about this, and there is much more to come. I'm working on a video about a Fulton County Superior Court judge here under, investigation with the JQC. And it's under investigation for biased conduct and still doing it. But information like that needs to be put into the limelight, because we all, as taxpaying voters, have the right to know what these elected officials are doing, and if they're doing things that are just against the law or just, immoral, unethical, and just flat out corrupt, we can hold them accountable. Even if it's just with the sheer and utter embarrassment that they have from all this reporting. That's how you hold someone accountable. No one likes to be embarrassed. Say that right now. I don't think anybody can say that. But when you're doing things to create this spotlight on yourself, super stupid. When you have judges out there being biased and under investigation while they're still biased. When you have other corrupt politicians that are out there and then expect the people to reelect them. Yeah, no. Then you're going to have people like myself that are going to report on this and bring attention to it, because the court of public opinion can be way more persuasive than the court of law. Because that court of public opinion, it sticks with you for many, many years, if not your entire life. These videos aren't going to go away. So this is going to be up and available on social media forever. Super stupid. Forever. Your daughter has to grow up and watch this stuff. You would think you would want to try to do better, but I'm not going to even give you the benefit of the doubt with that either. So you guys be safe. I got to get to bed. Take care. Lady Lookout. Deuces.